SSF League Start scenario, playing Popcorn SRS but on an Occultist. I'm at level 76, this is an un-ID'd T7 map, on a 5-link. How does this feel? Jesus Christ. Okay, that was a tough rare. I'm not sure which gameplay I'll start with, but I'll start with some gameplay, and then I'll explain what this is. So this is a League Start scenario test for Popcorn SRS, otherwise known as Exploding Minions, otherwise known as Minion Instability builds. So, Minion Instability says, when minions get to low life, they explode, dealing 33% of their life as fire damage, which means the damage I'm scaling in this build is actually minion life. So, I think I have all minion life on the tree that I can reasonably get. There's a bunch of minion life I can get on gear, there's some I can get on jewels, there's some I can get, I'm sure, in some other funky place. But that's the main way to scale damage, and the minion in question is one of the new ones. So Summon Raging Spirit's not new, but this version of it is. This version of it reduces the maximum from 20 down to 6, but the 6 here have 84% more life, and that's at level 18. And I might be able to get this to 25 pretty reliably. So I'm not sure what it'll be then, but it might be over 100% more max life. So that's pretty goddamn cool. The explosions do feel bigger and better. I was skeptical about whether or not this would feel better than 20 little SRS or 6 big ones. I think 6 big ones is better, so far. I'll test both at some point when I have them both maxed out, but for now, this is a viability test. This is me making sure that I want to do this for my League Start, and I do. This has been shockingly good. I handicapped myself to simulate the worst case scenario on League Start. That's no trading, because I'm in SSF. That's no real help. I didn't use all my currency in my stash. Everything here is very reasonable to obtain. I'll make a POB for this, even though it's kind of useless. This is just going to highlight the fact that this is very good at very low investment. And I play SRS from level 4, so it feels good too. This will probably get me comfortably to tier 16, I think. I don't know how it'll feel there yet, and we don't know how tier 17s are going to feel. So if this can't keep up, I can very easily transition into Arakaali's Fang. And that's my goal, that's my plan. So that's what this character is, that's what it's for. As a League Starter, I haven't tried this version of Popcorn SRS, but I have played Popcorn SRS before, so I know it's good. But I wasn't happy with the clear speed. I felt like the single target was good, but the clear speed made it not fun to play. So I thought I would fix that by playing Occultist, just to give it explosions. So the minions explode, causing enemies to explode. It just makes sense. So I think it does help a lot with clear. Hopefully I show gameplay in the start that highlights that. I know for a fact single target will continue to get better and better, and the clear is already good. So I'm quite happy with this, and I can recommend this as a League Starter. In fact, I don't just recommend this as a League Starter, I recommend Popcorn SRS in general, because it's kind of a template. Because when you get this, you're then locked into scaling minion life, so every tree looks kind of similar. Like some I've seen skip up here and go down here, some I've seen not go over here at all. But depends on your budget, depends on what you want to fit in, depends on what you want to do. I think it all works. They're all viable. It's just you might stumble upon an even better version if you experiment, or if you copy something from PoE Ninja. So, okay, let me talk about the features of this versus Necro. I haven't played new Necro, because Necro got reworked for Necropolis, so we're going to have to experiment with that. I do believe Necro will be tankier than this, because of the new Minion damage leech from Necro. But, like I said, this will let me transition into Arakaali's Fang, which will be tankier than Necro in general. So, I don't have anything to worry about, it just depends on when I want to switch. That's if I do switch, because this is the thing, I'm not sure how well this will perform and how late this will go. This might do the entire Atlas. If I stick with this and keep upgrading it and making it feeling better and better, then I could see it go all the way. Maybe do the whole, everything up until T17 at least. Maybe some bosses. Yeah, boss damage will be interesting. Okay, I think that's good enough for an introduction. So let me talk about the gear I have. I think I mentioned in my intro that I'm handicapping myself a little bit, but that at the same time, I did get lucky a little bit. So this is in SSF, this is simulating a league start, but I did get lucky and find Siegebreaker in the campaign, which is another source of damage scaling from Minion life. So that just made total sense to throw in as well. So now instead of minions only exploding in fire, there is also a Chaos degen pool on the ground, with a good area. So that just helps. I'm going to keep this on for as long as possible, just to see if it actually does help in the end. I don't know what I'd swap this with, apart from like a Mage Blood or something. I don't think Ghastly Eye Jewels are better than this. Again, there are so many versions, none of them are the only correct one. So, I found Siegebreaker and Profane Proxy in the campaign. That felt pretty goddamn great, especially because of, you know, Occultist memes and explosions and all that. And I also found Kikazara. So Kikazara is going to be another little handicap thing. So I'm missing bone rings, I'm missing unset rings. There's a lot that you could do with ring slots. Very basic gear, just to show that this is very doable on no budget. This is SSF friendly, and that's saying something. That's good. Another thing I got lucky with is I have a +1 to all fire spell skill gems. I found this in Act 1, and I couldn't believe that luck. I'm probably not going to get one now in League Start, thanks to that, so fuck, but oh well. Still pretty good feeling. And it's only taking it from 17 to 18, so it's not even really helping yet. Helmet, not even worth looking at. It doesn't even have res on it. I am res capped, not for chaos, but I do have res. This, again, just to show that this is possible on no investment. If you have better gear than this, you will have a better build. And it's very easy to get better gear than this. Like look at that. Like, look at this. This sucks, but it's perfectly fine. It works so well right now. And I'm pretty happy with my life, too. Like, I've almost got 4k total. And, like, a good split, good amount of ES regen, good amount of life regen. Feels great. Boots, I just grabbed the first pair with 30 move speed I found, and it had a open prefix for Lifecraft. Done. Again, just to showcase SSF viability. Amulet. Could get a +1 fire amulet, but not yet. That's a later thing. For now, I just found one with life, dex, all res, and mana regen. I think this is amazing for SSF, actually. This is a little bit lucky. A little bit lucky. But, again, this cost, what, 2C? Maybe? Less, probably, on day 2 or 3. You could make this yourself. Like, not even worth thinking about. Things that you do have to think about are when you use essences of fear. So, Minion life can roll on belt and shield and chest. So I used Essence of Fear on the chest until I got life, and I happened to get res. So this is, again, a little bit lucky, but very, very cheap. Just farm essences. We get essences for free on the map device. Sorry, not for free. We have 7th Gate, so we have everything. Point is, just farm for Essence of Fear, and you can make your own gear in SSF. So make sure to get a good roll for minion life on chest and shield. +1 fire, +1 fire. Eventually go for +2 maximum, +2 level of all minion skill gems on the hat. That's the most important thing. I kind of don't care what else it has. I'll get that as soon as I can. Gloves doesn't matter. Boots doesn't matter too much. So that's gear. Very simple. Very easy to put together. SSF friendly. Because this is SSF. This is SSF standard, just to make sure that, you know, it feels this good. So in a new league, when I'm investing more into it and trading and getting league mechanic like juice, this is going to feel great. Let's talk about the tree. There's not much to talk about. There's a bunch of different versions of this, but I don't think any of them are wrong. It just depends on what you want to do specifically. So for me, I want Spectres. I don't need golems, but I do want one golem to stay alive. I don't need another golem. And I would like zombies to stay alive. So I need to not get elemental res for minions on the tree. That's why this node isn't taken, because it gives 15 all res. I don't want that, because it makes the minions not die fast enough for my taste. So that's a pretty long timer for damage to happen. That can get annoying. So if you give minions fire res, that will take even longer. It won't reduce your damage, it will just make it take longer. So eventually later on I might take this, and it might still be okay. If I have Tavukai, then I will take this and drop Infernal Legion, and that's fine. But for now, I actually want to use Infernal Legion for as long as I can, because the fire AoE actually does damage, and it helps clear. And it helps lowers everything's health down so that the explosions chain react. It's a good feeling. So I wasn't done talking about tree. So that's why I haven't taken that one node. I stretched up here to get the other reservation wheel. Let me talk about priorities. So one thing I learned from doing this Leaguestarter experiment was that getting minion instability early isn't worth it, because it doesn't do more damage until you actually start scaling minion life. So on Leaguestart, I would rush sacrifice first. Then, like, I don't even have Enduring Bond. I don't think it's useful. I don't think I need it. I'm pretty sure I don't. Again, later on when I have, like, level 95 instead of 76, I'll have enough points that will probably be worth it. But for now, stretch all the way to sacrifice, then make sure to get minion things, and then by that point, Act 2 or 3, I can get minion instability, and it will feel better than not having it. But what I did in my Leaguestart scenario was I got this first, then started scaling minion life, and that didn't feel good. So skip that, just play hit-based SRS on a 3 and a 4 link until Act 3, maybe Act 4, and then you can start exploding things. My defenses are life regen, armor from determination, and block. I got Glancing Blows and Divine Shield by the end of the campaign, and I feel pretty tanky. I don't fall over like most minion builds do. It's comfy. I can still die, but the only things that kill me are rares that are a bit too strong, and bosses I don't pay attention to, which is pretty normal for a minion build. So, defensively, I feel pretty good. Honestly, just getting res cap, life regen, and block feels good for minion builds. The bar is pretty low. It's a summoner. You're not meant to be tanky. That's why I play Arakaali's Fang, because it's one of the tanky minion builds. But we're going to have to see what Necro does, because Necro might actually be tanky this league, from all the life leech. Well, who knows? We'll see. Bone Barrier got removed. It's going to be an experimental league for Necro. Talked about tree. Tree is normal. I'll leave like one additional reminder that PoB has this tree if you want to copy the outline. Quick leveling reference, I guess. Go here first. Make sure to get here second. Get minion instability by Act 3 or 4. Then go up for the reservation and the block and the life. Get the minion wheel. Get the extra Spectre if you feel like it. I don't think it's necessary, but I like having it. And then by the end of the campaign, get Divine Shield and the block. And also the block nodes here are good to take early, around like Act 5. So, that's gear, that's tree, that's gameplay, that's playstyle, that's discussion. Are there any tips to playing this build? So minion builds kind of have to work in synergy with each other to get the most out of everything. So I'm trying to get the most out of SRS of Enormity. So I'm trying to get the most out of the fire explosion. So my Spectres are going to be focused on helping things take more fire damage. So to do that, 2 of my Spectres out of the 3 are Tukahama's Vanguard, found in Act 6. They summon a totem which has Scorching Ray. If that works the way regular Scorching Ray does, that's negative 25% fire res. If that works as advertised, which I hope it does. So that's what they do. I also have 1 Goatman Fire Razor here, because I need something hit-based for fire to trigger Elemental Army and Combustion. If both of these have procced, Elemental Army procs on any hit, Combustion procs on an Ignite. So, with the 2 dudes doing Scorching Ray, and Goatman doing Fireball and Rolling Magma and Molten Shell, if both of these trigger, and if Scorching Ray does its job, that is 45%... Sorry, negative 45% fire res from this 4 link here. And then I have negative 27 from Ellie Weakness so far. And I have negative 35. So 30, 50, 62, 100 and 107. Okay, so if my math is correct, technically right now, in my best case scenario, enemies have negative 107 fire res. Wow, cool. And that's only going to get better with gem levels and all that. So, yeah, okay, that worked better than I thought. That sounds good when I say it out loud. The only other minions I have are Stone Golem and Skitterbots. Skitterbots are here because of the unique ring. I think this is the best way for me to comfortably fit in another curse. Because I could put it on Blasphemy, I could make it share, but then it would be kind of... it would be meh. But this, I get the res here, I get the levels, I get the automated, like, area searching, so I don't have to worry about being close. Yeah, I think this is good. This is fun. It's not optimal. It's fun. That's still valid. Flasks, don't need to worry about. Everyone does that differently. I just recommend, you know, get bleed immune, get CB immune somewhere. Put used when charge reaches full on utility flasks. It's very fun. If you get that in combination with gain on hit, they're up all the time. That's a good way to get defenses on minions. I have 2 life flasks for now because it's still a bit early. I'm only level 76. This is very early in progression, and I feel great. Like 76, some people are still in the campaign. In hardcore, people are still in the campaign. I can highly recommend this as a league starter. Hopefully, while I'm talking, I've been showing more gameplay. If I haven't, I'll end the video with more gameplay now. Otherwise, look at the POB in the description, and if you want to see this build in action, then I'll be live for, hell, at least a month for this league, because Necropolis looks like fun. Affliction was a 9.5 out of 10, and Necropolis already looks like it could be a 9 out of 10. I don't know how I feel about the content being mandatory, but fucking Arch Nemesis was mandatory, and that was fun, right? So, we'll see how it goes, but I'm hyped, and I'm looking forward to it, and I think Necropolis will be good. Okay.